the Euphrates River. People want to know, they've seen, is it drying up? The Bible talks about this in Revelation chapter 16.
Have you ever wondered what could be buried beneath the depths of one of the world's most famous rivers? The Euphrates River, long considered a historical and biblical landmark, is revealing something that might just make you question everything. As it continues to dry up, the ancient waters are bringing forth astonishing discoveries, some so mind-blowing that they leave the world in shock. Could this be a sign of divine intervention, or something far darker? Stay tuned as we unravel the secrets of the Euphrates River, the ancient beings it may be revealing, and what this all means for the future. The drying Euphrates, a sign of divine prophecy. The Euphrates River has always been more than just a water source. It holds a deep connection to ancient civilizations and has been an essential part of religious texts for millennia. The river's significance is highlighted in the Bible, particularly in the book of Revelation, where the drying of the Euphrates is said to precede the coming of the end times. As the river continues to recede, the question looms: could this be the fulfillment of prophecy? Is the drying Euphrates a divine warning that the final days are upon us? Biblical scholars and religious historians have long pointed to the Euphrates as a symbolic river tied to God's divine plan. Revelation 16:12 specifically mentions the river drying up, paving the way for the kings from the east to come. This prophecy has many wondering, are the signs of the end times unfolding before our eyes? As the river's waters continue to shrink, uncovering long-hidden artifacts, the world seems to be witnessing a major shift. Could the very act of this river drying be a divine signal? Some believe that the Euphrates is being dried up to prepare for a significant spiritual event, one that will shake the very foundations of human history. According to certain interpretations, the ancient river's retreat could signal the opening of a portal, one that will bring the four angels, bound beneath the waters for millennia, back to Earth. As the waters continue to evaporate, ancient civilizations and supernatural forces could be set loose. The thought is chilling. Could this be a divine warning or the beginning of a disaster? Many point to the ancient discoveries being unearthed as the river's waters recede. Could these finds be the key to understanding what is happening? The Euphrates' ongoing disappearance and the discovery of strange, large skeletons buried beneath its sands could be part of something far larger. Some scholars believe that these skeletons may belong to the Nephilim, the giant offspring of fallen angels described in the book of Genesis. Are these remnants of ancient beings proof of divine intervention? Or is there something else at play? Could the revelations from the Euphrates indicate that the time of divine judgment is fast approaching? It's not just about the skeletons or the artifacts found, but also about the strange natural phenomena occurring alongside these discoveries. From the strange sounds emanating from the riverbed to bizarre weather patterns around the world, some believe the Euphrates drying could be the prelude to a cataclysmic event. These eerie phenomena, along with the geological shifts and discoveries, could be signaling the beginning of the end times, as foretold in Revelation. The Euphrates has witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms. But what could its drying mean for the world today? As we continue to explore these revelations, it becomes clear that something far greater than a simple natural disaster may be unfolding. Could the drying Euphrates be setting the stage for a momentous event that will alter history? The Nephilim and the mystery beneath the waters. As the Euphrates River continues to dry up, astonishing finds are being uncovered, one of the most baffling being a giant skeleton, believed by some to be the remains of the Nephilim. These mysterious beings, mentioned in Genesis, have long been a topic of intrigue, with many speculating that they were the offspring of fallen angels and human women. Could these ancient, giant beings actually exist? And if so, could they be the key to unlocking the mysteries hidden in the Euphrates? The discovery of what may be a Nephilim skeleton beneath the riverbed raises profound questions. If these skeletal remains are indeed of the Nephilim, it would suggest that much of what we know about ancient history could be rewritten. The Nephilim were said to possess extraordinary strength, size, and intelligence, and their existence was thought to have been wiped out in the flood during Noah's time. But could it be that some of them survived, hidden away for millennia under the waters of the Euphrates. The size and features of the remains are what have caught the attention of archaeologists and religious scholars alike. The bones discovered show signs of abnormal growth, with elongated limbs and an unusually large skull, characteristics that align with ancient descriptions of the Nephilim. If true, this would suggest that the beings from ancient texts were not merely mythical creatures, but actual beings who once roamed the earth. The discovery of these remains could change everything we know about human history and the supernatural world. But what is the significance of the Nephilim's remains being uncovered now? Some believe that this is no coincidence, but part of a larger plan tied to the end times. If the Nephilim were indeed the result of the union between fallen angels and humans, their discovery could signal the return of these beings, or something even more dangerous. Could these skeletons be a sign that the Nephilim are rising again? Or are they simply the remains of a forgotten race, lost to time? This discovery also raises the question of what else lies buried beneath the Euphrates. If these giant remains are being revealed as the river dries, could more supernatural beings be hidden under the surface? Some theorists believe that the release of these beings could coincide with the prophesied events of the end times, where creatures from the abyss, be they demons or otherworldly entities, are set to rise again. Could this be the moment when humanity comes face to face with the ancient powers once locked away by God? The implications of these discoveries are profound, and with each new finding, the question grows more urgent. What are we truly uncovering beneath the Euphrates? Are these signs of divine intervention, or are we witnessing the awakening of something far darker? The answers may not be far off, but as the Euphrates continues to reveal its secrets. The four angels bound. Beneath the Euphrates. The Bible speaks of four powerful angels who are bound at the banks of the Euphrates, waiting for the appointed time to be released. These angels, as described in Revelation 9:14-15, will play a pivotal role in the end times, unleashing terror upon the earth as they bring death to a third of humanity. As the Euphrates dries up, some believe that the moment of their release is drawing near. But what does this mean for the world, and why have these angels been imprisoned for so long? The concept of the four angels bound at the Euphrates is one of the most chilling prophecies in the Bible. These angels are said to be among the most powerful of fallen beings, whose rebellion against God led to their imprisonment in the first place. But what would their release mean for the earth? According to the prophecy, their freedom would lead to an apocalyptic event where they would lead an army of 200 million horsemen, bringing destruction on an unimaginable scale. The very thought of their power is enough to send a shiver down the spine. As the river recedes, many believers are starting to wonder if the time is finally approaching for these angels to be set free. The timing of their release is significant, as it coincides with the drying up of the Euphrates, a direct fulfillment of prophecy. Could it be that the events unfolding right before our eyes are the precursor to their release? And if so, what will happen when these ancient and powerful beings are unleashed? The thought is terrifying. Could this be the beginning of the final judgment? The imagery in Revelation is vivid, and the consequences of the angels' release are catastrophic. A third of humanity will perish, and the world will be plunged into chaos as the four angels carry out their divine mission. But why have these beings been bound for so long? Some believe that their release will mark the beginning of the end, as the final events described in the Bible unfold. If these angels are truly bound beneath the Euphrates, then the drying of the river could signal the beginning of a dark chapter in human history. What's even more chilling is that the Bible hints that these angels are not the only entities that will be unleashed in the last days. Revelation speaks of other beings, monstrous creatures that will rise from the abyss to bring about destruction. Could the release of the four angels at the Euphrates be the first of many apocalyptic events? And could these creatures be connected to the mysterious sounds emanating from the riverbed as the water continues to disappear? As the Euphrates continues to dry up, the world waits with bated breath. The question remains, are we on the verge of witnessing the release of these powerful beings from their ancient prison? Could the end times truly be upon us? And if so, what does this mean for humanity's future? The mysterious sounds from beneath the Euphrates. Strange and eerie sounds have been reported coming from beneath the drying Euphrates River. These unexplainable noises, described as otherworldly and disturbing, have led to speculation that something far more sinister is lurking beneath the riverbed. Could these sounds be the cries of ancient beings, perhaps the fallen angels or even demons, locked away for centuries, now signaling their imminent release? Or is there a more supernatural explanation for these disturbing noises? The sounds from beneath the Euphrates have baffled locals and scientists alike. Some believe these noises are linked to the supernatural, a sign that the creatures bound under the river are stirring. These eerie cries could be the sounds of ancient demons or otherworldly entities, trapped for millennia and now awakened by the river's retreat. The thought that such beings might soon walk the earth again is terrifying, and the timing of these noises coinciding with the river's drying has many believing that the prophecy from Revelation is about to unfold. Others suggest that these strange sounds could be something entirely different, perhaps a sign of natural disturbances caused by the shifting geology beneath the riverbed. As the waters recede, the earth is shifting in ways never before seen, and this could be causing the strange sounds. But skeptics argue that the nature of these noises seems too otherworldly, too connected to ancient prophecies, to be purely geological in origin. Could the sound be a warning? A divine or demonic message sent to alert humanity of an impending catastrophe? The possibility of these sounds being connected to the four angels, or the Nephilim, is a disturbing thought. In ancient texts, it is said that the sound of trumpets will signal the arrival of the end times. Could the sounds coming from beneath the Euphrates be a form of this celestial trumpet, a call to announce the release of the beings bound under the river? As the river dries and the strange sounds increase, some believe we are witnessing the beginning of a series of apocalyptic events, each one more terrifying than the last. Could these sounds also be a sign that the time is near for the final battle between good and evil to take place? Some theories suggest that these noises are the first warning that the spiritual forces locked away beneath the Euphrates are being unleashed. Whether they are fallen angels, demons, or something even darker, the eerie sounds serve as a warning that the end is drawing near. Could these sounds be the herald of a new era of darkness for the world? As the Euphrates continues to reveal its secrets, the strange sounds persist, leaving us to wonder, what are we really hearing? Could these noises be a direct sign of what's to come? The answers remain elusive, but one thing is certain. What lies beneath the Euphrates is far more mysterious and dangerous than anyone could have imagined. The rising storm. As the Euphrates River continues to dry, it's not just the riverbed that is changing. The world around it is also undergoing significant shifts, with increasingly strange natural phenomena and escalating global tensions. Could these events be signs of the end times, as foretold in biblical prophecy? In the book of Revelation, we're told that before the final days, there will be a period of global unrest, natural disasters, and spiritual warfare. As the Euphrates recedes and strange occurrences intensify, many wonder, are we witnessing the beginning of the prophecy coming to life? The global scene is becoming more chaotic by the day. Natural disasters, wars, and widespread famine are rising in frequency and intensity. From massive flooding in Europe to wildfires in the Americas, the Earth seems to be responding to something far deeper than just climate change. Some see this as the fulfillment of the prophetic warnings given in the Bible. Matthew 24:7-8 describes how nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, with famines, earthquakes, and natural disasters marking the beginning of the end. If the Euphrates drying up is part of this grand narrative, we may be on the precipice of a new world order, one that could lead to unimaginable upheaval. These disasters are not just happening in one region of the world, but are becoming a global phenomenon. The ancient world and modern civilization are both experiencing a convergence of chaos. Many believe these signs point to the approach of Armageddon, the final battle between good and evil. The scripture paints a picture of catastrophic events leading up to this moment, with the Euphrates playing a central role in the last days. As the river dries up and more discoveries are made beneath its surface, some ask if we are witnessing the Earth's final preparations before the ultimate showdown. The increasing political instability only adds to this sense of foreboding. Leaders are at odds, alliances are shifting, and conflict seems to be brewing everywhere. The book of Revelation speaks of the rise of powerful leaders who will lead nations into battle, and some believe that the current geopolitical climate is a precursor to this. Could the rising global tensions and the strange phenomena surrounding the Euphrates be the early stages of the events leading up to the final battle? Some theologians warn that we must pay attention to these signs, as they are pointing to the fulfillment of prophecy in ways we never imagined. As unsettling as these events are, there is still a glimmer of hope. Despite the chaos and devastation, biblical prophecy also speaks of redemption and salvation. Revelation 21:4 promises that in the end, God will wipe away every tear, and there will be no more death, mourning, crying, or pain. For those who believe, these signs are not just harbingers of doom, but also the beginning of a new era of peace and restoration. The signs in the Euphrates, whether frightening or uplifting, are a reminder that God's plan for the world is unfolding, and though the road may be difficult, there is hope in the promise of His return. Could it be that these signs are warnings for us to prepare, to strengthen our faith, and to turn our hearts back to God before it's too late? As the Euphrates reveals more of its hidden truths, it's up to us to heed the call and remain vigilant, for the future is unfolding before our eyes. What will be revealed next? A divine revelation, or dark forces at play? In the midst of all the revelations and eerie phenomena surrounding the Euphrates River, one crucial question remains. Are these events signs of divine intervention, or is something far darker at work? The discoveries unearthed from beneath the riverbed, giant skeletons, strange sounds, and mysterious structures, have sparked a wave of theories, each with their own implications. Some believe that what is being uncovered is a sign of God's power, a divine message to prepare humanity for the final judgment. Others fear that these discoveries are a manifestation of dark forces being unleashed on the world. The Bible speaks of divine judgment and the release of supernatural entities in the last days. But what are these entities? Are the skeletons of the Nephilim, giants thought to be the offspring of fallen angels, proof of this? If so, does it mean that the fallen angels themselves are being freed, their powers awakened as the river dries? These questions are causing a stir in religious communities, with many believers seeing these strange findings as confirmation that the prophecies are coming to pass. The possibility that dark forces may be at work adds a terrifying element to the discoveries. Could these ancient beings be returning to our world? On the other hand, there are those who see the drying of the Euphrates as a sign of divine revelation and preparation for the return of Christ. Revelation 9:14-15 speaks of the four angels bound at the river, waiting for the right moment to unleash destruction upon the world. If the river is indeed drying as part of this prophetic fulfillment, it may not only be a time of destruction, but also of spiritual awakening. Could the discoveries beneath the Euphrates be revealing God's hand at work, preparing the world for the arrival of the Savior? Some believers hold fast to the idea that these signs are a call for repentance and spiritual renewal, urging humanity to turn to God before it is too late. As the Euphrates continues to reveal its secrets, the tension grows. Is this the work of God, revealing hidden truths to prepare the world for its ultimate destiny? Or is there something far more sinister at play, as ancient forces once bound are now stirring beneath the surface, ready to bring about chaos and destruction? The answers are unclear, but one thing is certain. The revelations from beneath the Euphrates are raising profound questions about our place in the world and what the future holds. The mysteries surrounding the Euphrates River continue to unfold, and each new discovery raises the stakes. Could these findings be the key to understanding the final days, or are they the harbinger of something darker, something that could forever alter the course of humanity? As the river recedes, the world is left to wonder. What lies beneath, and what will it mean for us all? Giants of the past, or harbingers of the future? The discovery of what appears to be giant human remains beneath the Euphrates River has reignited an age-old mystery, the existence of the Nephilim. These giant beings, mentioned in the book of Genesis, have long been the subject of speculation. Were they real? And if so, what happened to them? Could these ancient giants be the key to understanding what's really going on beneath the surface of the Euphrates? The sheer size of the skeletons discovered raises the question: are we dealing with the Nephilim themselves, or something entirely different? In Genesis 6:4, the Bible speaks of the Nephilim as the offspring of the sons of God and daughters of men. These beings were described as mighty, strong, and towering giants, heroes of old, men of renown. The existence of such beings has intrigued theologians and historians for centuries, but the discoveries beneath the Euphrates suggest that there may be more to the story than mere legend. The giant bones uncovered could be the remains of a race that once roamed the earth, potentially wiped out by the Great Flood. But what if some survived? And what if their return is part of a larger, more terrifying prophecy? The Bible also speaks of the Nephilim as part of God's judgment against humanity's corruption, with their destruction being part of the cleansing that followed the flood. Could these giant remains be a sign that the Nephilim's legacy has not been entirely erased, but rather is waiting to be revealed in the last days? Some biblical scholars speculate that these bones are not just remnants of the past, but rather a warning of what's to come. Could the Nephilim's bloodline be returning? Or are these finds simply artifacts of ancient history with no deeper meaning attached? As the Euphrates dries up and new discoveries are made, the possibility of the Nephilim returning is gaining traction in certain circles. Some believe that the giant bones and other strange artifacts are part of a divine plan, a way for God to reveal hidden truths before the final judgment. Others fear that these discoveries are an omen of something far darker, a time when the supernatural forces that once roamed the earth will once again make their presence known. Either way, the evidence is mounting, and the world is left grappling with the implications. Could these skeletal remains be the missing link to understanding the Nephilim's true nature? If so, what role will they play in the unfolding drama of the end times? With each discovery, the line between faith and fear becomes more blurred. As the world waits to see what will be revealed next, one thing is clear: the legacy of the Nephilim may not be as distant as we once thought, and their return could signify the beginning of an era unlike any the world has ever seen. Signs of the end times. With the drying of the Euphrates River and the discoveries that have followed, many people are beginning to ask a haunting question: are we witnessing the signs of the end times? As biblical prophecies unfold before our eyes, it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the possibility that the final days are upon us. Strange weather patterns, natural disasters, and political unrest are all being seen as signs of the approaching apocalypse. But what if the events surrounding the Euphrates are not just coincidences, but divine signals urging us to wake up before it's too late? The Bible has long foretold that the end times would be marked by a series of cataclysmic events, many of which seem to be happening right now. In Matthew 24:6-8, Jesus warns that there will be wars, rumors of wars, famines, and earthquakes in various places. This passage could be describing the world we see today, where conflicts are escalating, economies are faltering, and natural disasters are increasing in frequency and intensity. Could these events be the fulfillment of the prophecy? Is the world as we know it drawing closer to its final days? The Euphrates River, in particular, has always held a special significance in biblical prophecy. Revelation 16:12 speaks of the river drying up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. As the river recedes, ancient forces, both natural and supernatural, are being revealed. The discoveries beneath the riverbed could be more than just remnants of the past. They could be signs of what is to come. Whether it's the remains of the Nephilim, the release of the four angels, or something else entirely, these revelations are shaking the foundations of our understanding of history, faith, and the future. As we witness these unfolding events, the question remains: what are we supposed to do with this information? How should we respond to the signs that are clearly all around us? The Bible urges us to be vigilant, to watch for these signs, and to prepare our hearts for what is to come. As the Euphrates continues to reveal its hidden truths, it's up to each of us to decide how we will respond. Will we turn to faith and repentance, Or will we ignore the warnings and continue down a path of destruction? One thing is certain. The events surrounding the Euphrates are not something we can afford to ignore. They are a wake-up call, urging us to pay attention to the signs that are all around us. The final days may be closer than we think, and the time to prepare is now. What will you do when the Euphrates River no longer hides the secrets of the past? The Leviathan connection. Is this ancient sea creature linked to biblical prophecy? As the Euphrates River continues to dry up, the discovery of strange, massive skeletons beneath its waters is raising questions that go beyond mere archaeological interest. Among these discoveries is the remains of what some speculate might be a creature akin to the Leviathan, the terrifying sea monster mentioned in the Bible. Described in the book of Job as a nearly indestructible beast, capable of breathing fire and crushing its enemies, could this sea creature's remains offer a chilling connection to ancient prophecy and divine judgment? In Job 41:1, God challenges Job with a rhetorical question. Can you pull in Leviathan with a fishhook or tie down its tongue with a rope? This description paints a picture of a beast so powerful and formidable that it cannot be controlled by human means. Some biblical scholars and enthusiasts believe that the Leviathan is more than just a metaphor for evil. It could be a literal creature created by God, whose purpose was to serve as a symbol of divine power and judgment. Now, with strange sea creature skeletons being unearthed, some are wondering if these discoveries could be a sign of the Leviathan's return. If the skeletal remains found beneath the Euphrates are indeed linked to the Leviathan, it raises profound questions about the end times. According to the Bible, creatures like the Leviathan were created by God to demonstrate his power and might. But could their return be a sign that something more sinister is unfolding? Could the drying of the Euphrates and the revelation of these ancient remains be the precursor to the return of these terrifying creatures, marking the beginning of a new chapter in apocalyptic prophecy? The Bible also describes the Leviathan as a creature that inspires awe and fear in those who encounter it. Its appearance and abilities are beyond human comprehension, and its role in the divine order is one of both destruction and power. If this creature, or something like it, were to resurface, it would not only shock the world, but could also signal the unleashing of apocalyptic events. Could these discoveries beneath the Euphrates River be the first sign that ancient powerful beings are being reawakened as part of a divine plan? The connection between the drying Euphrates, the discovery of strange creatures, and the re-emergence of biblical monsters like the Leviathan is unsettling. Some fear that the world is on the cusp of witnessing a return to a time when supernatural creatures roamed the earth, wreaking havoc as they once did. As the Euphrates continues to reveal its secrets, the question remains, what is next? Are we about to experience the fulfillment of prophecies written thousands of years ago? Or are these discoveries just the beginning of an even darker mystery that lies ahead? The discovery of such creatures challenges everything we think we know about the world, forcing us to reconsider our understanding of biblical prophecy. As the signs of the end times become more apparent, the question is no longer whether we will witness these events, but when. What will we do when the ancient creatures of the Bible are revealed before our eyes? Will humanity be ready to face the terror that awaits? Or will we be caught unprepared when the Leviathan and other ancient beings emerge from the shadows? Time is running out, and the truth about these discoveries could be more terrifying than we ever imagined. As the mysteries of the Euphrates River continue to unfold, one thing is certain: what's being uncovered may change everything we thought we knew about history, prophecy, and the future. Keep your eyes open and your faith strong, because the most shocking revelations could be just around the corner. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding story.